It's hard to pick a favorite book from April, but We Are the Brennans just might be it. If you saw my video that was my April recap and my May TBR, then you know that I didn't read a bunch of books in April. I think I only read 4 and 2 of them were audiobooks, so not a heavy reading month at all, but I still think that We Are the Brennans was my favorite. I've been saving this one for April, and I was very excited to read it because I love contemporary fiction. I love a kind of bit of slice of life, and that's kind of what I expected from this one. And it really did not disappoint. Now to attempt a very brief synopsis that hopefully explains things. The dust jacket makes it seem like We Are the Brennans is purely about Sunday Brennan, or that it's focused on her, but it really is about the whole family. Sunday has been living in California. She left her family in New York very suddenly a few years ago and didn't really give any reasons why, but she has gotten in an accident and has to come home. So her brother goes to pick her up, brings her home, and that starts off the book. And it's about the whole Brennan family. It is this New York Irish family who own a bar in the city and live on the outskirts and have been very close-knit ever since they were young. And it brings in some other characters that they're very familiar with, very close-knit family. And there's some like mystery and intrigue in this. There's even a bit of a murder mystery, which I was not at all expecting. And it really is just kind of, it's very focused on family. It's very family-centered and very sweet. And there are some romances in it and some very, like the chemistry. And the chemistry for those is great, but it really just focuses on the family and restoring broken relationships or working through tense moments and problems that are, you know, problems that arise throughout the book, because you have to have problems, you have to have tension. It really was just everything that I wanted from a standalone contemporary book. It was the 2021 Book of the Month book for, I think it was July. Let me double check. Yeah, July 2021 Book of the Month, which I didn't get it from Book of the Month. I probably got it at a thrift store or something. But from my understanding, Book of the Month showcases debut authors and their first books. So this was Tracy's first book, Tracy Lange. And I wasn't really sure what to expect, especially from the writing, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was really good. Very just a good flow to the writing, very easy to read, nothing that seemed to like catch me up and mess up the rhythm. And there were times where her writing was very reminiscent of my own, so that was fun and interesting too, because I don't often read other people who write the way that I do. So it was really cool to see that in like a published book by somebody else, to see some of the ways that I write. The characters were phenomenal. They were all very compelling and very charming in their own ways, and I really just loved all of them. I fell in love with all of them, with the whole family, and I didn't want the book to end because I just wanted to sit in this book with this family forever. So, a very well done family, and they all have flaws and they all make stupid mistakes, but they all also have their own charms and their own reasons for doing things, and I just thought that they were very well done. They were all very distinct and well done. What else can I say? They were good characters. The plot was also super fun because I didn't really know where it was going to go. Starting out, all I knew was that the bar is in trouble and Sunday Brennan has come home. That's all I knew from the dust jacket, really. And so I didn't know what to expect from the plot, but I thought that it was well done, and there were a few different twists and turns that weren't expected. There were some secrets that had to come to light, and I think the ending was very satisfactory also. So a very well done book, a very well done plot. I need to stop saying well done. That's all that's in my brain right now. I can't like think of another term to use. But it was compelling and a joy to read. It was so much fun. I read it in 2 days. Technically, I read the first 15 pages while I was on my road trip, but then I didn't have the chance to pick it back up. So when I got home, I read it in 2 days, and I was just caught in this book. Like, I didn't want to put it down. I would have read it in 1 day if I'd had the time, and then when I started to get towards the end, I just didn't want it to end. I wanted to stay with these characters and in this world. So definitely a 5-star read in my opinion. I just had such a great time, and I'm so glad I read it, and I'm looking forward to reading it again in the future. This is one that I will gladly keep on my shelves, and I do plan to read again. And I don't really feel like I have anything else to say. I didn't have any big qualms with it. I mean, morally, there were some things that I personally take issue with, but they make for a good story, so I can't really complain too much about that. But it's now been like a week and a half or so since I read it, and I think my video is less rambly because of that. Like, the emotions aren't all right there and the story's not like in the forefront of my mind. I've been reading Days of Blood and Starlight, which is that book is just, it's phenomenal. But I've read a few things since then, and so this is kind of falling to the back of my mind. I still stand by everything I've said up to this point in that it is a very good book, and my lack of rambling is not because it was not like interesting or full of things to talk about. It's just that I don't really know what to talk about now. I can give like a brief synopsis and a brief review, and I don't really know where else to go from there because I don't want to start like spoiling things, or I don't know. So I guess this is just going to be a very short review, so it works that I'm over here in this corner. I will eventually be moving back to in front of my bookshelves, my like main bookshelf, but I need to clean that area up, and a friend sent me home with a whole bunch of books from my trip, and so I need to go through those and see what I'm actually keeping, because I didn't mean to take all of them home, but I let her pack the box without watching her, and she just put all of the books in the box. So now I have way more than I meant to have. So I need to go through that and sort all that out and figure out what I'm getting rid of and what's staying, and so eventually I'll clean up that area and be back over there. But for now, we're in the book chats corner, and that works perfectly for today's video because it is a short one. I'm probably going to be able to cut it down to close to 5 minutes, which is crazy. But those really are all of my thoughts about We Are the Brennans, so I'm just going to go ahead and end this video. Y'all get a nice short one this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe down below if you're not subscribed, and comment down below what your favorite genre is. Do you really love to read contemporary? Do you like slice of life? Do you like fantasy? Do you like sci-fi? Whatever. What is your go-to genre? I think for me, that answer changes. I used to be really, really into fantasy, and then I got into slice of life contemporary for a long time, so We Are the Brennans was very refreshing and really like my cup of tea. But now I'm going back and forth between those two. And I enjoy a good sci-fi every once in a while too. If I can find a really good one, I like sci-fi. I feel like I just read an eclectic hodgepodge of books, I guess. I've got reviews for classics on here. I have a bunch of classics I still want to read, so yeah, I just read anything really. But anyway, let me know, what is your preferred genre, and do you have any good recommendations for myself or for other people in the comments? Go ahead and leave favorite genre, favorite book in that genre. There we go. And without further ado, that is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!